Commercialism is the idea that colonies existed for the benefit of the mother country. In other words, the American colonists could be compared to tenants who paid rent by providing materials for export to Britain. According to the beliefs at the time, the wealth of the world was fixed.
Hello, Governor.
The French and Indian War was very essential to the American Revolution because the war debt was the reason that Parliament started imposing taxes on the colonists in the first place. Also, the French and Indian War weakened Britain, making the colonists' actions work more effectively. No taxation without representation. This was one of the main causes of the American Revolution. Those living in the colonies believed that if they were to pay taxes, then they should have adequate representation and therefore a political voice in the British Parliament. Are you going to discharge your weapon?
The Boston Massacre led to the deaths of 5 civilians at the hand of British Redcoats on March 5th, 1770. The legal aftermath of which helped spark the rebellion in some of the British American colonies, which culminated in the America Revolutionary War.
Thomas Paine published Common Sense in January 1776 in support of the Patriot cause. Using clear, plain language, Paine rallied the colonists to support the break from Britain in arguing for American independence. Paine denounced the monarchy and argued that people are born into a state of equality. The Tea Act. In British American colonial history, legislative maneuver by the British Ministry of Lord North to make English tea marketable in America. Their resistance culminated in the Boston Tea Party on December, which colonists boarded East India Company ships and dumped their loads of tea overboard. Parliament responded with a series of harsh measures intended to stifle colonial resistance to British rule. 2 years later, the war began.
You gotta do something about this.
Yeah, you're right.
The Intolerable Acts were a series of laws passed by the British Parliament in the mid-1770s. The British instated the acts to make an example of the colonies after the Boston Tea Party and the outrage they caused became the major push that led to the outbreak, American Revolution in 1775.
The battles of Lexington and Concord, fought on April 19, 1775, kicked off the American Revolutionary War. On the night of April 18, 1775, hundreds of British troops marched from Boston to nearby Concord in order to seize an arms cache. Take 2.
Social contract. Revolutionary era Americans favored social contract theory over the British Tory concept of patriarchal government and looked at the social contract as support for the rebellion. During the antebellum and Civil War periods, social contract theory was used by all sides. Natural rights. The purpose of government, Locke wrote, is to secure and protect the God-given, inalienable natural rights of the people. For their part, the people must obey the laws of their rulers. Jefferson adopted John Locke's theory of natural rights to provide a reason for revolution.
The Declaration of Independence, 1776. By issuing the Declaration of Independence adopted by the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776, the 13 American colonies severed their political connections to Great Britain. The Declaration summarized the colonists' motivations for seeking their independence.
On October 19, 1781, British General Charles Cornwallis surrendered his army of some 8,000 men to General George Washington at Yorktown, giving up any chance of winning the Revolutionary War. The Franco-American siege exhausted the British Army supplies of food and ammunition. As the revolution ended, both states and the federal government stimulated changes that guaranteed freedom of worship and largely removed government from religious affairs. New York, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina abolished their colonial Church of England legal establishments.